So welcome to session 10, that is Verilog HDL subject module 3, that is last session of this data flow modeling. And so now in the previous sessions, all these sessions, so actually module 3 is divided as we know. So one is the gate level modeling chapter. So after that we have started with the data flow modeling. So in data flow modeling we have seen the main basic construct, that is how to use the assign statement. Okay, so here the design inputs, as we know, the Boolean equations that will be implemented using means using the operators. We have seen in previously sessions, we have seen how to represent the expressions and how to use all these operators, different operators, arithmetic operators, concatenate operators, conditional operators, bitwise, reduction, and relational, logical. So all different operators we have seen and how to use them in the code. Okay, and after that we have seen some two examples, that is one is multiplexer and one more is the adder. Okay, that is 4-bit full adder we have seen. So after seeing all those things, so in session 10, so in session 10 we'll take one more, the last example, that is 4-bit ripple carry counter. So that we are going to see in this session. Okay, so the objective is the same. So we need to learn how to construct the practical, the digital circuits. Okay, so as the examples we have seen in previously, that is adder and multiplexer, similarly you will see the counter, how it will be designed in the using data flow modeling. Okay, so as we know, the counter, there are many different counters are there. So here we are considering 4-bit the ripple carry counter. Okay, so here this is a asynchronous counter, we are calling ripple because the output of one flip flop, okay, it is acting as clock for the next flip flop, and output of that flip flop will act as clock for next flip flop, and output of that will act as clock for the next flip flop. So this is asynchronous, the counter, 4-bit counter. So as it is the 4-bit counter, we have the 4 flip flops here. Okay, we are using the T flip flop. Okay, so so why we are using the T flip flop only? Okay, what is the characteristics of T flip flop is it will give the negation of what the input we have. Okay, it is a negation of what the input we have. So now for example, so here, so if you see the patterns, how the counter will be 0 0 0 and 0 0 1 and 0 0 1 0. If you go on like this, then 0 0 1 1 0 1 0 0. Okay, so now if you observe the first bit LSB, it is always toggling. Okay, if you take the second bit, okay, it is toggling every 2 times. Okay, 2 times in the sense 0 0 0 0 1 1, next 0 0, next 1 1. So like this. If you take the third bit, okay, every 4 times 0 0 0, then 1 1 1 1. If you take the fourth bit, 8 times 0 and 8 times 1. Okay, so if you see that, if you see the first bit only, then every clock it need to toggle. Okay, so as the T flip flop will toggle the input, if 0 is there, 1 will come, if 1 is there, 0 will come, again 1 0 1 0. So like that the T flip flop will toggle. So because of that, we can use the T flip flop as the one of the component, means the major component in the counter. Okay, so the first flip flop, okay, the clear is used to clear the, means to make reset as 0 0 0 or to start from once again 0. So that will be the clear, it will be used, and clock is required to drive the flip flop. Okay, and each clock this will be toggling. First flip flop will toggle, and initially it will be all are 0. First it will be toggle, the next clock pulse it will be 1, and this will be 0. The next clock again it will be 0. Okay, and here as this will be toggling here, and this will be 0. Okay, So because whatever the first output is there, that is first output is q120. So 120 means the q naught is 120. Okay, for that negative edge this will toggle next one. Okay, because of that, sorry, 0 0 0 0 1 0, and here it will be 0 and here it will be 1. Okay, so actually they have written reverse here, means this is q0, q1, q2 and q3 according to this diagram, but usually we will see in reverse direction. Okay, so if it is like this, if it is toggle here, then this will be incremented once. Okay, the next toggle, next it will increment in again next step like this. Okay, so like this is the basic the ripple carry counter block diagram. Okay, for this one, how to write the code in the data flow modeling. Okay, so here inside whatever the one flip flop, okay, the T flip flop is constructed with one D flip flop and a NOT gate here. Okay, so one D flip flop and NOT gate. So how it will work? If the input is 0, let us say, sorry, output at present output is 0. If it is 0, through the NOT gate it will become 1. The next clock pulse, okay, in the next clock pulse, what it will do, as the input is 1, the D flip flop will 1, means earlier it was 0, the next clock pulse it is 1. Again, if the input is 1 and it will be 0, and as it is 0, the output will become 0, the next clock pulse it will be again toggle. So like this, okay, like this T flip flop will work as the inverter, means toggle. Okay, it will toggle the input based on the D flip flop and NOT gate. Okay, the same D flip flop and NOT gate, it will be represented in the logic circuit. We using gates, latches. Okay, this is one latch, this is one latch, and this is one latch. Okay, by using 3 latches we can represent, okay, the D flip flop with a negative edge triggered, as I told in the beginning previous slide. So this is a negative edge triggered flip flop. Okay, so this the D flip flop with negative edge triggered with clear signal. Okay, here instead of reset clear, they have given reset signal, both are same. Okay, so with clear signal and with D and q bar, and it will give the output like this. Q bar is nothing but again it is like NOT gate here. Okay, so NOT gate again giving to the next, this is giving as means it is similar output as D here. Okay, so that is what they have given here. Okay, Q bar is again given to the that output Q like this. Okay, so it is basically this whole circuit will provide what the job the T flip flop is doing here. Okay, so this is the internal circuit. So now how to write the code for this? Okay, so as we know, we have the circuit. So usually okay, we have seen that data flow modeling we can use writing the Boolean equation. Okay, that is fine. We can use the Boolean equation. For example, expression is, for example, if it is, okay, a bar b c plus b a c bar. If it is like this in data flow, so what you can write is a bar is not of a and b and c. First term is over. Next term is we need to use OR gate and b and a and c. So one line is over. Means this, like this Boolean equation, we can write the expression data flow like this. So whatever it may be, if it is x here, then assign x equal to like this. So this is how in most of the cases we will use the data flow modeling. Okay, but here the circuit is there, but we are writing the data flow. So how we are writing is the same thing here. First you define the module, the keyword, and this is the module name. Okay, so here we are using the keyword module name, and here what are after the dotted lines, okay, what are the signals are appearing here? So Q, Q bar, D, clock and clear. So here 3 inputs and 2 outputs. 2 outputs they are declared first and 3 inputs here. Okay, so this is what the declaration here. After that, what are the inputs and outputs we need to mention. Then what are the intermediate signals? So intermediate signals are S bar, S, R bar, C bar. So all these things are intermediate signals that we need to declare with wire. Okay. So after declaring all those things, we need to write the code by using assign statements. First, we'll take one by one. C bar. So assign C bar equal to not of clear. So what is the not gate? Not gate is nothing but the symbol for that is operator is like this. Already we have seen. Okay. So not of C bar, assign C bar equal to not of clear. Then if you come to assign S bar, what is S bar here? Here S bar. Okay. So S bar equal to, what is the input for that? One is S and one more is R bar. Okay. So R bar and S both are, NAND gate is represented like A and B and this is not. Okay. This is AND gate and not will become make it NAND gate. Okay. So R bar and S and with NOT gate it will become the NAND gate. Okay. So instead of using assign every time, they are giving comma here for each statement and the last statement they have given the semicolon. Okay. Otherwise we can use assign S equal to and semicolon. Okay. Both are fine. So anything we can use. So here again S, this one. For that, what are the inputs here? 3 inputs. One is S bar, one is C bar and one more is R bar here. Okay. S bar, C bar, sorry, for S, wait, so yeah, clock. Okay. So one is not of clock, that what, one is not of clock is there, we are giving the not here, not of clock, and C bar is already declared here, that is C bar we have seen here, and S bar, so S bar is here, S bar. All together this, as it is NAND gate, all are ANDed and outside the NOT gate. Similarly R, for R also S is input, not of clock is input and one more is R bar is input, R bar. Okay. Similarly for R bar, okay, for R bar, R is input and D is input and one more is C bar. Okay. Similarly for output, for Q, okay, for Q bar is input and S is input. Okay. All are NAND gates only. First to make AND gate, then outside the NOT gate. Similarly for Q bar. Okay. So here also how many outputs are there, so that many statements will come. Okay. How many outputs, including internal signals also. So how many outputs are there, internal outputs and external, so that many statements will come. Okay. Or we can use each line, we can use assign. The only thing is, in that case we need to terminate every sentence with a semicolon. Okay. So this is how the whatever the latched circuit means, the D flip flop circuit is there with clear, the same thing we are implementing using the data flow modeling by using operators. Means we have used AND operator, NOT operator. Okay. By using operators we are writing the data flow modeling. Okay. So now this is while writing, implementing the counter. So one T flip flop is over. This is what the one T flip flop code. Like previously in one of the examples, while seeing 4-bit full adder, we have seen 1-bit full adder code. Then we have instantiated 4 times. Similarly, okay, in the same manner we have written the code for, okay, one T flip flop. Okay, we have written the code for one T flip flop. How we have written here? You can see here the module name edge underscore D flip flop. Sorry. Okay, the module name here edge underscore D flip flop. Okay, so that the T flip flop individually D flip flop with key. Okay, so individually we have written here like 1 bit full adder. So that this one we are calling here. Okay, that is edge D flip flop we are calling here, and here we are what are the top module signals are there, that is clock. Okay, clear is there, means here it is similarly like, yeah, here this module clear is there, clock is there, and Q naught is there. Okay, okay, here, okay, clock in the top module it is similarly like in the block diagram what you have seen, only 3 signals, clock, Q, clock and clear. Okay, but for the edge flip flop we need to have the not of clock also, so that not of Q, that is nothing but Q bar, the Q bar is also there, that we have used here. Okay, output is clock, input clock and clear. Okay, so Q bar, clock and clear. Okay, so now the same T flip flop we called 4 times. Okay, T flip flop, T flip flop, this module name is nothing but this one. Okay, this module name is nothing but the what we have written data flow modeling for, that is the basic circuit. Okay, so the TFF0123 is an instance name. Okay, and here the main Q of 0. So here we are declaring the top module as module and counter is module name, the top module, 4 bit triple carry counter, Q is output, clock is input, clear is input here. Okay, means it is similarly what we are representing this one. Okay, this Q instead of small they are taken as capital Q of 0 instead of Q0, Q0, clock and clear, these 3 signals are there. Okay, so that is Q, clock and clear. Here Q is 4 bit, as there are 4 flip flops are there. Okay, Q0, Q1, Q2, Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, the 4 bits we have declared. Okay, and first Q of 0 is the output of first flip flop, and clock and clear we have given, and the output of the first flip flop will act as clock for next flip flop, and the output of second flip flop will act as clock for third flip flop, and output of third flip flop will act as clock for the last flip flop. Okay, and anyway clear is a common signal, so that we are giving. So basically this 4 bit triple carry counter have 3 codes. So one is the top module, this one, and the second one is defining the truth table, defining the T flip flop like this, and the third module the D flip flop what you have written the code. Okay, so we need to write 3 modules, T flip flop and the top module and the D flip flop what we have seen the previously. Okay, so now it is one thing we need to clear in mind. So whatever this D is there, this is the circuit only for the D flip flop with clear. Okay, so whatever this NOT gate is there, so NOT gate we are taking it here. Okay, the NOT gate Q of bar we are taking it here. Okay, what we have defined here, and this is the code for the T flip flop. Okay, directly we have taken as NOT gate. Okay, so after writing truth table, okay, after writing the code for T flip flop, D flip flop and the top module, so this will finally the 3 modules will combine and together form the code for 4 bit triple carry counter. Okay, so now to check that one we need to write as usual the stimulus block. Okay, stimulus blocks don't have the port list, and here clock and clear whatever the inputs of the design block will act as register. Output we need to declare as Q, means wire and initial, and here before okay monitor we can use anywhere. So dollar monitor the time and count means we are continuously monitoring the count value, that is output, with respect to the time. The dollar time is again a keyword which will give simulation, which will give the display the simulation present simulation time. Count is a variable that we are declaring in binary format, okay, and we are also displaying clear, okay. That is what the variables here, q 4 bits and clear, okay. So after that we need to instantiate the main top module, that is counter is the module name, this instance name anything we can give, and clock, q, clock and clear, what have in that which order we have used in the top module, the same order we need to mention. So here we are giving the, after initial we are giving the inputs. Clear is 1, means it is active high. If it is clear is high, all it will make as 0 0 0. So after 34 second clear is 0, okay, 34 nanosecond. After from 34 to 200, okay, and it will clear will be 0 only. Add the 200, means after the 34, after 200 clear is making again 1, okay. In that case again it will become, the counter will become 0 0 0, again the clear is 0, again it will be running continuously, okay. So now this is giving the clear input. After the clear, how to give the clock is, okay. So this is one block, begin and end is over for clear. How to give the clock is, again we have taken initial, begin, and initially the clock should be declared as 0, okay. So this is the format which we need to generate the continuous pulses. There are two things. Once the tool we can do by forcibly, we can give the pulses in the force mode, and this is through the test bench what we can generate the pulses. Forever is again a keyword, hash 10 is a delay, okay, clock equal to not of clock, so that is the meaning. 10 nanosecond it will be high, again 10 nanosecond it will be low. So like this forever it will be continually, it is generating pulses like this, okay. So that is begin and end. So again begin and end is closed. Again they have used to terminate the simulation after the 400 nanosecond, and again they have used in the begin and end separately. So there are three initial blocks. First initial block is give the input clear, second for clock, and third for giving the terminating the simulation, okay. So even we can do it in a single initial block also, but here they are using the three initial blocks, okay. So this is how we need to, we gave the input to test the 4-bit triple carry counter, and we'll see how the output will be. As I said, initially the clear is 1, means it is clear the output, that is count is 0 0 0. So after the 34 nanosecond the clear is 0, means until that it will be 0 only. Until clear is 1 the output will be 0. At the 34 nanosecond clear is 0, from that the counter will start, okay, from that counter will start. Add the 200, add the 200 means add 34 clear is 0, and after 200, so 34 plus 200, add the 234, you can observe here again the clear is 1, okay. Add the 234, so 34 plus 200, okay, at 234 clear is 1, again the output is 0. Again after some 50 nanosecond clear is 0, so from 284, 234 plus 50, 284, again the counter is started here, okay. So this is what how based on the clear input, okay, the counter output is giving the output here, okay. So this is the simulation, how the counter output looks like in the monitor, okay, on the screen. So summary, what we have seen in this session is, that is we have seen the negative edge triggered flip flop, okay, which will be used for generate the counter, okay, which will work as the counter circuit, okay. And also we have seen how to write the design block and how to write the stimulus block, okay. So now as the summary of again if you see the summary of module 3, okay. So if you see the summary of module 3, in module 3 we have two chapters. One we call as gate level modeling, and we have the data flow modeling. Okay, so just as a summary of the last session of module 3, so gate level modeling is used for the smaller circuits. Okay, if we have the small circuits, okay, maybe some 10 gates or 20 gates or like that. So if the circuit is very small and we can draw manually the logic circuit, then directly we can use the gate level modeling. Okay, as the complexity of the circuit increases, so we can't go for, means we can't design okay, so we can't have the logic circuit with gates if the design is complex. Okay, so manually we can't do that. Okay, so and even if you do the manually the logic circuit also, so writing code itself, again it is the how many gates are there, that many sentence we need to write. It is a bit tough. Okay, so it's again the difficult to write the things, and again for analyzing also. So to overcome that, then they develop the data flow modeling. So whatever may be the complexity, all we can represent with the Boolean equation. That Boolean equation we can implement using data flow modeling. Okay, by using the operators. Okay, so by using the operators, so very easily we can implement the designs. Okay, so this is what whatever tools will come, so Xilinx or Altera, the Cadence, whatever the tools will come, the whatever the synthesis we call, the synthesis itself, the job is whatever design is there, it will convert into the logic gates or netlist. Okay, that is a job. So now in module 3 we have seen data flow modeling and gate level modeling, and how to design, how to write the Verilog code by using these two modelings. And okay, so that's all what we have seen in 10 sessions. Okay, and in the next, the module 4, so that will be dealing with the behavioral, the next type of the modeling. Okay, so this is all with respect to the module 3, and the reference for this module 3 we have used the textbook what I have mentioned, the syllabus, that is Samir Panitkar, the Verilog HDL, a guide to digital design and synthesis, the second edition. And I am very thankful for the LMS team for this subject Verilog HDL, and okay, for our chairman Dr. Rangraju HG, HOD of EC department, government SKS JTI Bangalore, and he is the chairman for what is that, for EC courses. Okay, for EC courses, our for LMS, that is learning management system. And thankful for our department HOD Professor Rajshekhar U, HOD of EC department, Government Engineering College Haveri, and also I am thankful for the Dr. Rudrappa KM, HOD of EC department, GEC KRPET, and he is the moderator for this subject, that is Verilog HDL, and myself, the Professor Basuraj Rabkavi, Government Engineering College Haveri, as all they have helped me to develop the content, that is PPT and notes and the MCQs. Okay, so thank you one and all.